So I'm here at Antiques, Minnesota, here in Burnsville, Minnesota, right along Highway 13. You can definitely hear the cars. This is the first time I've ever been here, driven past it for most of my life. Hoping to find some decent comic deals. We'll see what we find inside. Let's go. Before I get started, I would ask that if you enjoy this type of comic book related content, please give the video a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future videos. And if you enjoy talking comics, then comment below. Alright, let's get into it. So, a little backstory on why I decided to check out Antiques Minnesota. So, I've been watching Lunch Money Comics, Mike, and his videos on YouTube for several months, and he often hits up antiques shops, flea market and stuff, and he finds a lot of good gems in these places. And I just kind of have dismissed antique shops here in Minnesota for the longest time, just because when I was younger, going into antique shops, the only comics they seemed to have were just really damaged, junk, silver, Bronze Age books. Nothing that really attracted me as a young comic reader. You know, I was a 90s kid. I wanted the high action, fun, comics. So I'd stayed away from antique shops for the longest time. On this day, I decided, what the heck, I'll check out this huge antique mall here in Minnesota. It's in Burnsville, right along 35W, and I was pleasantly surprised at the selection and how many comics were actually there. If you're here in Minnesota and you're around Burnsville, it's worth checking out for possible gems. There's, as you can see in the footage, as I'm flipping through these bins, there's kind of a pretty good mix of probably cheaper Silver Age, bronze, copper, and modern. The one thing, or several things to be aware of from what I noticed, is that they're just really not organized. There's the bulk of the books that I flipped through and the bins I flipped through weren't in alphabetical order or any sort of order of like the age of the books or anything. It was just all random, so you kind of have to flip through every single book or in the bins to possibly find what you might want to buy. The other thing, and this is kind of big, and you can see it in some of the footage where I kind of focus in on price tags, is that the prices, it didn't feel like I was going to find really a good deal, if that makes sense. Like, everything seemed to be priced at what the high raw value of the book. Like if you were going to look up on Key Collector, it seems like the people that have their booths or whatever, they seem to be pricing their books a little on the higher side for kind of what they're worth. You might find a couple like random good deals, but for the most part, you're going to pay a slight premium on the books if you do choose to buy something here. So just something to be aware of if you're going to make the trek and check it out. The other thing is the comics that are in these bins and the various dealers, if you are a late silver, Bronze Age collector, you might notice in some of the footage some books that you might like. I am not that collector and that era of collector. I just don't know those books, so I might have passed over some pretty premium books that were of good value. I don't know. Like I said, if you see anything in the footage and you're like, Oh, you should have picked that up. Well, head on over and you should go get it yourself. I had to focus on this Wolverine image on this cover, just of how absurd his claws were drawn. I, I couldn't believe that. Yeah, so after spending maybe an hour or so in this place, I I really thought about getting that New Mutants #1. But anyways, I after spending a little time in here, I did end up picking up a couple books, which I will show those pretty quick here. But yeah, uh, enjoy the rest of my perusing, and I'll see you in a second. All right, back home with the couple of books that I ended up buying at Antiques Minnesota. Starting off right away when I was flipping through the first couple bins, right away when you walked in, I saw this Zorro #3 from the 90s. This is the first full appearance of Lady Rawhide, and specifically why I picked it up was because it is an Adam Hughes cover and I absolutely love it. I remember seeing this image back when I was younger in like Wizard and stuff and advertisements, so it's an image that burned in my memory banks. I ended up paying $15 for this book, which if you look on Key Collector, $15 is the high value price for a raw copy. And as I mentioned earlier, all the dealers like basically have things priced near the high range. This, I mean, it's a good copy. There's, you know, spine tick, but it's definitely not a near mint copy. I was willing to pay the premium price for it because I just don't see this book out in the wild or at shows very often. So I just decided to get it because I want the Adam Hughes cover. Next up is Black Widow #11. This was from the most recent series, I believe, from the 2020s. I think I'm going to put them on my list of comics to try and fill back issues of, because they are beautiful covers. This book I got for $2, so cheaper than cover price. It's a beautiful cover. There's no key significance to this book, this particular issue. It's just, like I said, it's a wonderful cover. It's Adam Hughes artwork. I love Adam Hughes, so happy to find this and kind of kick off finding all these back issues. Then lastly, I came across this Batman #92, got it for $3. And the reason I bought this and have been looking for this, the key significance for this particular issue is it is the second full appearance of Punchline. It is the first cover appearance of Punchline. Also has the first appearance of the Underbroker, whoever that character is. And it is also in this issue is the first meeting between Punchline and Harley Quinn. So there's a lot going on with this particular issue. The reason I have been searching for this particular issue, because I didn't buy it when it originally came out because it wasn't drawn by Jorge Jimenez and wasn't drawn by an artist that I really cared for, is that by all first appearance definitions that we as comic buyers, comic collectors, comic readers adhere to, this should be the first full appearance of Punchline, like this specific issue. Now, issue number 89 that came 3 issues before this one is credited with being Punchline's first full appearance. And that's the one you will see on eBay with the high price tag. For whatever reason, that is the issue that gets credited with being her first full appearance, despite the writer and creator of Punchline, Tinian, I don't know his first name. Even with him saying issue 92 is her first full appearance, it still doesn't get credited that way. And it's weird because issue 89, apparently Punchline is only in 2 panels. 2. Just 2. And in one, she's in shadow and the other is a close-up. It's not even like a first splash page image of her. It's weird how these distinctions get made, because if you take the Gambit example, Uncanny X-Men Annual 14, I believe, the whatever annual issue that he is in that gets credited as his cameo appearance, and Uncanny X-Men 266 getting credited as his first full appearance. In the annual, he's in 14 panels, and it's still technically credited as his cameo appearance. It's weird. I don't know. It just, thinking along those lines, I haven't been able to find issue 89 yet, but I decided to try and seek out this issue because it's not credited as her first full appearance. You can get it cheap, and maybe down the road one day the crediting and first full appearance will shift over to this being the desirable issue. Who knows? It's still a second appearance. It's still a first cover appearance. So there is value in this book if you are looking for it. Yeah, so these are the books that I got. I'm really happy with these few books for the various reasons. I only spent a little over $20 with tax. It was a worthwhile endeavor to check out Antiques Minnesota. I would definitely recommend stopping in there at least once, see if you can find anything. With that, I will end this video. Thanks for watching, and again, if you enjoyed this type of comic book related content, please give the video a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, comment below, and let's talk comics. Bye!